the one in my weight, getting a good amateur pedigree really helps. Fortunately, I was able to go from Great Britain, but I did see a Jaguar at the Rio Olympics. So I think that those things help, and just building a better infrastructure in Nigeria towards boxing is definitely helping. I think there's more that can be done because there's a lot of natural talents out there, but it's just a matter of time.
Brilliant, thank you. Let's go Pete G next.
Good afternoon, Lawrence. Thank you very much for your time. We had a chance to speak before you fought Głowacki, and this is my first question. How do you motivate yourself when you fight Prasovic right now? Prasovic fought the guys number 500 and number 90. I checked last two fights. You fought the world champion, Krzysztof Głowacki. How do you motivate yourself to just not overlook the opponent?
For me, like I said, I just really focus on putting in good performances. So whether I was boxing him or Głowacki or anyone, I remember that there's another guy, 200 pounds plus, when we get in the ring, throwing punches at me, and anything can happen. So it just comes down to my respect for boxing as a sport in general. So it's not about my opponents; it's about my love of the sport, my love of training. And I know, the potentials for after this fight. Not overlooking him, but the same way I knew if I beat Głowacki, I'm a world champion and there's more to come. So it's just about carrying on my journey with no hiccups. So that's how I motivate myself. I also motivate myself in the sense that knowing that there's, a guy coming to, knock my head off, laughing and joking with his friends, believing that it's his time. And, I've done it time and time again. I have my own plan and my own vision, and it takes me stopping other people's plans and visions.
Lawrence, it was a perfect answer for my next question, which will be, there is Briedis contra Thomas Mann coming, and you fighting Prasovic. And you said it from the beginning, the number one goal for you is to unify the title. I know there are some kind of discussions about you meeting Briedis after he beats Mann, which I have no doubts. I have no doubts you're gonna beat Prasovic. It's gonna be behind. Are you gonna think about it fighting Prasovic? I know you have to push it back, but the goal for you always was to unify, and the goal is very close. Is it?
Yeah. So my thing is massive. All eyes on Saturday. Not overlooking my opponent in any way. But like anything in life, you have a job to do here, but you still think about the promotions or running the business or whatever. So I take this step on Saturday in the hopes of unifying. So definitely it's close. I've been told, as long as I'm able to stay focused, not let the occasion get to me and win on Saturday, unifications are literally around the corner. Something that Eddie is desperate for, I'm desperate for. So it's just about finding out if or when I win on Saturday, if the other champions are in the same mindset.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good luck, Lawrence.
Thank you.
Let's go to Fernando next.
Thank you. Lawrence, how important is for you to unify and become that big star for the Cruiserweight divisions since Usyk left the division? That big star for that I think the division is needing.
It's one of my main motivations when I'm training, and just in life. I feel like in Britain, the Cruiserweight division has brought some great champions, and I just want to put myself at the top of that list, or at least in an argument for it, So it's very, very important to me. In terms of being a star or picking up where someone else left off, it's not really important to me. It's just my own personal goals and my own personal ego as well that wants these things.
And my last question, how important is for you as a British fighter to be part of the biggest card of British boxing for this year, and probably the biggest card since the pandemic?
I'll let you know after the fight. Obviously I'm happy to do it, but it's all about how I perform under the occasion, then I'll be able to look back and say, wow, I did this in front of however many people. But in terms of being part of the event, it's just is what it is, you know. That's irrelevant. All that's relevant is winning.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jeremy next.
Hi, Lawrence. Thank you for taking the time to talk today. As far as Dylan Prasovic is concerned, how closely have you studied him? Have you done studied a lot of his films, and what's your assessment of him as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of him on YouTube and on the internet. You know, some of his, you know, he's easier fights, some of his harder fights. You know, I've seen him box quite a few times, and he's got a very, you know, good style, really fast hands, really comfort. I don't know how to explain it, like, but I've watched a lot, and I know what I believe I have to do, and then if that doesn't work, I've got so many different options. So I've watched a lot of him, but I feel very, very comfortable going into the fight.
I know there's a lot of talk. Obviously, a lot of this has been focused on the future and unification bouts. You have a very large frame for a cruiserweight at 6'5". Could you see a scenario where you decide to go to heavyweight before, you know, pursuing unification bouts?
It's an awkward one at this stage because of how the heavyweight division looks. You know, it kind of feels like a silly time almost to go up to heavyweight. You know, it's like who you fighting, what you fighting for. You know, I'm very comfortable with my position as a cruiserweight right now, and going up to heavyweight just randomly doesn't make sense. But then again, the only way I would move up before that is if it became a political battle, you know, to make unification fights, you know. But I don't think it will be. I think people, you know, the other champions need big fights, and they need other champions to say, I'm up for it, you know. We haven't been seeing that at the moment, but I'll be, you know, honking that horn loud and banging that drum. So I think it will work out.
Final question for me. Obviously, you have tremendous punching power, 81% KO rating. Looking at the scope of the cruiserweight division, do you feel pretty comfortable saying that you're the hardest puncher in the division right now?
It's weird because I don't actually feel like I hit that hard. It's so like it's more so when I hit how I, you know, like I get the shot off. You know, I don't think I'm that. Like I punch hard, but not like obscenely. Like when I'm in the gym, everyone stops to look at what's happening. It's just I know when to punch and how to punch. You know, so I'm definitely on a roll. Do you know what I mean? And I want to keep that roll going. But we'll see, you know. Yeah, we'll see.
It's quite a role, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you so much, Lawrence.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go with Antonio now.
Hello, yes, Sam?
Yeah, we can hear you, Matt.
Okay, Sam, do I have permission to record?
It's recording for you. I'll send it after.
Okay, thank you. Lawrence, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Lawrence, with Saturday's fight, you're an undefeated fighter, and you're fighting a guy that's undefeated as well. What is the game plan going into the fight?
Okay, let me break it down and tell you what we've been doing in the gym the last few months. No, I'm joking. I won't be doing that. What I would say is that I feel very confident in my ability. I think if I look back at, you know, the occasions I've been in and the fights I've been in and the type of fighters I've been in with, to this stage, you know, it's put me in really good stead for 70,000 people or 60-something thousand people and boxing someone with the style of my opponent. So there's no, you know, intricate game plan. It's very much just punch him as often and as hard as I can and try to take no damage myself.
Definitely. Next question, Lawrence, do you feel like this division and your preparation going into this fight that you're the, I would say you're the leading man in this division and you look forward to fighting the best?
Yeah, I feel like obviously within myself, I believe I'm the best cruiserweight in the world. obviously I've got a world title belt. However, there's still another 3 guys who can say they're also world champions. So I think until we all face off against each other, whoever the champions are, after my fight, after, you know, the next people's fights, we have to get on and see, you know. You've got someone like Briedis, who's probably the most accomplished, you know, as he's been, you know, world champion before and fought a few different names and, you know, stuff like that. However, I believe head to head, I'll beat Briedis, but only time will tell.
Thank you.
Cool. Last couple of questions. Let's go back to Jeremy first, and then we'll go Kelvin, and then Antonio, you can finish off. So let's go with Jeremy first.
Hey, thank you. Lawrence, quick question for you. Obviously, again, you don't necessarily see yourself as this monstrous knockout puncher, but more than anything, looking at your knockout punching power and Dylan's, you both have great numbers. Do you expect that this fight's going to end in a knockout?
I demand it. Like, it's just the way that it has to be. You know, it's like, it's not even on like an ego kind of thing. It's just, I respect boxing, I put the work in, and I train towards that. Not hitting the bag as hard as I can or punching the pads as hard. It's tactically, you know, I feel it's wrong of myself and of my training team if he's able to compete with me for 12 full rounds when we're in a contact sport where I can, you know, hit him to the body, take some wind out there, hit him to the head, end it. So, yeah, I expect a KO. And also, I've got a run of form that I need to keep going. So I'm really, really excited.
Looking at that streak that you have going right now, I think it's 6 KOs in a row. How do you account for it? Is it just everything's clicking for you? Is it the training? Is it the maturity? All of the above?
Definitely maturity is one that sticks in. Training, obviously, but I think it's yeah, I think it's timing. I can't even lie. I think everyone gets it wrong. I think it's literally the timing. You know, I'm constantly trying to get it. And then every now and again, one just gets through, bang. And then the fight's over. So I think it's a lot to do with timing and tactics. And also, as the rounds go on, I don't know what it is. That's one thing I cannot understand, is why people get so tired when they're in the ring with me, when I know they've had huge training camps. But for some reason, as soon as we get to that round 5 and 6, anyone that I spar, they like know that they can't do 6 rounds in a row. If when I'm going, they can't do 5, whatever. So for some reason, people get really tired in there with me, and then the shot comes. But regardless, you know, yeah, I'm just looking forward to landing the shot, hearing 60,000 people cheer. Those are the moments I'm looking for.